Yeah, I mean, it was good to return to ACC play against a really tough Duke team. I mean, they were off all week, and we were playing midweek, so certainly with their rest, we knew they'd be coming out fired up. And we had a good first half. We managed and kind of back and forth, and we knew they were going to come out flying second half, and they did. And we were fortunate to get a lead there, I think 9-6. And unfortunately, we got an unreleasable yellow card, but Izzy's been saving our butt on defense all year long. So I know she wished she'd had that one back, but the team had her back. They scored those couple warming up goals, and they were winning the draws there the last couple, so it put a lot of pressure on our defense. But at the end of the day, our defense stood tall. Dan was great in net. We got some stops, and we're fortunate to get out a win against a really tough ACC opponent in Duke, and hats off to them. And well coached, they came out firing. They got some really good sticks offensively, which we knew going into it. They were really good offensively, so we knew it would be a good task for our D. But we're fortunate to get out with a win and a big ACC win for us. And we'll get some rest and get back to work and head home to play Notre Dame in the Dome.
Open up for questions.
Coach, very dramatic finish. What's going through your mind those final few minutes?
Yeah, I think just composure. I think Duke came flying the second half and made a run, and we got a little frazzled, but I thought our kids showed really good poise and calmness and composure, and they've been in a lot of tight games. Sometimes just under fire you get used to like tight games. So they made a few plays and and squeezed a couple ground balls, and like I said, I'm really proud of our group tonight. Really proud of the coaching staff, the players, and it was a great crowd here today, and we're fortunate to get out with a win. But I really like that our kids calmed down and showed good composure there in the fourth quarter.
3-0 in games decided by only one score. What makes you guys so strong in those clutch moments?
I think just it's been a lot of dogfights this year. And I think when you get dogfight, you get in so many dogfights, you just kind of get immune to it, and you don't get too rattled. And I said, this team plays with a lot of composure and calmness, and I think when we got away from that a little bit in the third, we settled back down. And hats off to the team for just withstanding Duke's heavy punch there when they were making their run when we were unreleasable. But just really happy for the team.
Coach, a wild final play. What's your sigh of relief like on the sideline once you see it ping off the post?
Well, we've done a lot of situational lacrosse, but we have a lot of situational lacrosse to clean up, and we're looking forward to having a full week for Notre Dame, not only to prepare for Notre Dame, but to prepare to work on some of our situational stuff. We cleared the ball. Courtney McClay made a great clear. We got checked, and it looked, could have been a green card on them, could have not, but the refs decided to let us play. And then, Bree Peters, number 2. I mean, she just made a hustle play, and unfortunately, she got a green card. So it's not her fault. We just got to be a little more disciplined and clean, but. It's not on the players. It's on us as coaches. We got to take some ownership in that, and we need to really clean up some situational stuff. We're very fortunate in these close games where we're sneaking out with them, but I do think we got to clean some things up. And like I said, we're excited to have a full week of practice, prep for Notre Dame, but also to clean up some of our situational.
Coach, where would this team be without Izzy this season?
The whole defense. Izzy's. In that first period alone, I mean, she was getting ground balls, caused turnovers, and they were kind of getting going, and we turned the ball over on the clear, and she'd get it right back for us. And I think that whole defensive unit with Coco, Case, and Mac, and Izzy, and Dan, and Nat, and then the middies, our middies give up a lot of, I think, offense to really buy into the defense, and and it's not easy to do, right? Because everything's about stats these days, and at the end of the day, our middies really buy in Coach Defoe's system and Maggie's, and I think I'm just really proud of the middies. I know they don't get a lot of, their stats aren't huge stats this year, and but at the end of the day, it's about winning and what's best for the team, and really proud of all those middy groups and our defenders.
Time for a couple more.
Speaking of stats, big day for Volpe on the stat sheet. What did you see out of her today, really in the second half, including the game-winning assist and like that?
There's just probably no kid I'm more proud of than Volpe. She's started the year and had some ups and downs, and she's just starting to get healthy. She wasn't really 100% to start the season, and she's working her way back in, and AP's been doing a good job getting there, Gracie Britt, and we're trying to find things down there, but they're doing it by committee. But we're asking Ashley to do some things for us, and sometimes it starts, sometimes it come off the bench, but she's really grown as a player. I think she's finally healthy as well. You know, I think she's really coming into her own, and she made some big plays to give us a little breathing room, and we needed every one of those plays, you know, as that clock ticked out.
Anything final for Coach?
Speaking of that final goal, Emma's scoring deep in the shot clock. Duke's on a big run. What does that say about her as a player? How does that reflect on her?
She wants the ball. You know, she wants the ball. You know, you know, we didn't shoot the ball well, obviously on the 8-meter, the free position shot tonight, and I know she wanted a couple of those back, but you know, she got a bounce and attacked the ball, and it made a play with, I think there was 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds on the shot clock, and you know, big energy goal for us. You know, on the other end, if you know, when we're defensively, when teams do that, it's deflating. You know, so but that was a big goal. That, and again, we needed that one as Duke went on the run.
All right, thank you.